Here's an old Bingo Arcade Shutterboard. It's very old. What happens, these are used day in, day out, played it all the time. People spill things on, they get very grubby, they get very dirty. And then when that arcade shuts, they tend to get sold off and sometimes put in garages all off. So they get incredibly dirty inside. So this is just a little video of us refurbishing it. We've sped this up quite a lot because the original video is about half an hour long. I'll put the link below so you can see the full version with the voiceover we did at the time we did that. So we take it apart. Now this is only held together by 2 bolts. And what happens is it's actually held in, most of it's held in place by other things. And when you remove it from its backboard, there's only 2 bolts holding it together, and then the thing tends to come apart, and the little sliders become dislodged, and it becomes quite awkward to use. So people tend to use sellotape on here. So what we do is we add some extra bolts in at the end, and that's there. We're just cleaning the acetate which has the numbers on, and this is an illuminated board, so it would have been in a display with a light in behind, and when you pay to play, then it lights up so that you know that that's a live board to play with. It's backed by this opaque perspex, and then these gels to give the numbers the colours that they need. So we just clean all that off and then dry it all off. We'll stick those back on in a second with a little bit of double-sided sticky tape. Make sure everything's clean and dry. Just take a bit of time. This is also a 75 number bingo game, so typical of what you would see within an arcade. Arcade. Now what I've done there is I've just drilled the 4 corners because I'm going to add in 4 bolts to it just to keep it together, and I've just put it on an incline there, so when we're putting the sliders back in, they all stay in place while we put it together, and that's quite important because if they come dislodged, then it just you have to take everything apart again and make sure they're right before you do that. And this is sticking the gels back down. Red, yellow, blue, white, green are the colours, and typically the balls that would come with this would be 1 to 15 red, 16 to 30 yellow, 31 to 45 blue, 46 to 60 white, 61 to 75 green. Now put it all back together, and I've just put the 2 bolts in the middle, and then we're just drilling the other bits of plastic so the holes match exactly. Now the other issue that you have with this is when you've got bolts in the back, then that can scratch any tables that they're on. So what we do at the end, we'll add some felt pads on all the way around, so that it avoids any sort of scratching. You'll see that in a minute. I'm just cutting the bolts down because it's very difficult to get the right size bolts. We just cut them with a Dremel, and now adding. And if you notice, what I do is I don't put the holes in the centre because we need it on the edge. Otherwise, if you put it in the centre, the felt would run over the edge. And there we are. Beautiful.